It's been a while, but I am back reviewing Canon on the channel, and we're gonna start with the Canon R6III. We're gonna see what this camera can do for both photo and video. Let's get into it. The Canon R6III is a full-frame 32.5 megapixel mirrorless camera for hybrid users, and I will be putting it through its paces today to see what it's capable of. We're gonna test photo quality, autofocus performance, low light, video, overheating, you name it. I know a lot of you have questions on why I haven't shot on Canon for so long, and am I officially back? I will answer those in this video, but before we start, for full disclosure, Canon Australia loaned me this camera. I'm not getting paid for this review, I don't keep the gear, all thoughts and opinions are completely my own. Let's start with autofocus performance. I'm using the RF 35mm f1.4 VCM here, and I have the camera set to continuous AF with both focus and transition speeds at their fastest settings. The R6III runs on Canon's dual pixel AF system, which uses the entire sensor for phase detection AF. There are a few subject detection modes, including human, animals, or vehicles, plus an auto mode, which I always like to see. I also tested locked on autofocus to see how sticky it is. This mode is important for situations like weddings where people are constantly crossing in front of your camera. You need AF to stay locked onto your subject even in a busy environment. When I used my hand to block my face, it did an excellent job staying locked on. However, when Dan stepped in front of me, the camera shifted focus to him fairly quickly. In this mode, it would be nicer to see it hold focus on the original subject for a bit longer. During the photo shoot, autofocus in stills mode was extremely reliable. I set it to continuous human AF and let the camera handle everything so you can see its true performance. My in-focus ratio was very high and it consistently locked onto Phoebe's iris even when she was looking to the side, which is something some camera bodies can struggle with. So far, I've been using the 35 f1.4 for the photo shoot. I'm going to show you the unedited 100% crops of the photos first so you can see the true detail, and afterwards my edited version. All photos are edited with my Wildphone Lightroom preset pack, which I'll leave linked down below. I'm also very excited to announce that I'm building an online workshop about natural lighting, where I'll teach you everything I know about working with natural light so you can apply these techniques to elevate your own photos. I'll leave a link for that in the description too. It's coming very, very soon. I'm thrilled to see Canon bump up the R6III to 32 megapixels. I wanted to shoot with those orange flowers. They look so cool. While the R6II's 24 megapixels were workable, that was the lower limit for what I'm comfortable shooting with. The jump to 32 megapixels gives you more versatility for cropping, and it's nice to be able to zoom in and see more details. Later in this video, I'll test every ISO in low light so you can see noise performance, and we'll also look at the sensor readout speed as we dive into video. Do you want to try like a side-on shot would look cool here too? Maybe if you tuck your hair behind your ear. Yeah, that looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love the colors here. But first, the big question on a lot of people's minds is why haven't I shot with Canon for so long, and how does it feel to be back? So the last time I used Canon was 4 years ago when I was testing the R5 with the RF 50mm f1.2 during this dreamy photo shoot. It wasn't that I stopped liking Canon, I've just been so busy covering a ton of other gear that's been released since then, but once the R6III was announced, I knew I had to test it out. The Canon 5D series is where I started my photography journey, so I know firsthand how capable their cameras and lenses are, so I think it's the right time to start reviewing their gear again. Just to be clear, am I switching back? No, but I am planning on having regular Canon coverage on my channel again, so please let me know in the comments what lenses or camera bodies you'd like to see me try, and I can make some videos about it. I might get a full body shot here too, because this is working really well. The files this R6III produces look beautiful. I'm really happy with the images we captured and how they've rendered through this setup. It's great getting to see those Canon colors again. This sensor has great tonality and nice color rendering. If you stand just here, I'll shoot with like this in the background. So if you come out this way, yeah, perfect. You can shoot up to 12 FPS with the mechanical shutter and up to 40 FPS with the electronic shutter. Plus, Canon also added pre-shooting, which is great for unpredictable subjects. Speaking of burst shooting, I did test out the buffer. With mechanical shutter at 12 FPS, it looks like there is an unlimited buffer. I was holding down the shutter for over 2 minutes before I gave up, as it didn't look like it would fill up anytime soon. In electronic shutter at 40 FPS, you can shoot up to around 110, 115 images before the buffer needs to offload. This takes a couple of seconds and then you're able to start shooting again. And then can we try one if you like crouch with your back up against the wall facing out that way? The R6III weighs 699 grams and has a 3-inch flip screen, which if you know me, I'm not a fan of flip screens for photography. I think nowadays for a professional camera or a hybrid camera with an equal focus on both photography and video, a combined flip and tilt screen is a much better option. It has a 3.69 million dot EVF, which was nice to use. There is a dedicated photo and video mode switch, as well as a joystick, which sits nicely under my thumb while shooting, although I don't use the joystick much anymore while taking photos, as I am able to rely on human autofocus nowadays. In terms of ports, there are all the essentials, including mic and headphone jack, remote port, USB-C, and a full-size HDMI. The R6III is making use of dual card slots. One is CF Express Type B and the other is SD UHS-2. It is also weather sealed. Let's go back across the street because the light's a bit more even. Yeah. Oh wow, that's really nice. Your outfit literally...
Because my yellow pops are
It literally matches all the locations. I'm obsessed with this. Okay, not what I was looking for, but this ended up looking really good. It's like a little bit backlit too. If you come out here into the sun a bit, I want to get some more backlit shots. Oh, nice. Okay, let's dive into video, and Canon honestly came out swinging with some impressive video features on the R6III. So I'm starting off on 25p, getting a few shots here in the shade first. You can do internal 7K raw video, even in OpenGate up to 30p. Aside from that, you can also film in 4K, 30p, 60p, and even 120p in nearly full frame. I noticed when I would flick between photo and video, it would always crop in on video mode a little bit, even in 30p with stabilization mode switched off. So according to the manual, in standard 16:9 4K modes, it has an angle of view of 93.8% horizontally, which is very minimal, but still something to keep in mind when choosing your focal lengths for filming video. Regardless, I'm very happy to see there is no APS-C or extreme crops for 4K 60 and 120p. And then if we could walk together, actually, yeah, if we walk that way, you like look over your shoulder, could be cool. And then I'll walk backwards as well. But yeah, go nice and slow. For all these video examples, I'm using C-Log3. So these Canon clips, as well as the rest of the video you've been watching, I used my custom Rec 709 Premiere Pro preset to convert and color grade the footage. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to get it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, I'm scared. I'm like, I'm gonna do 10 steps and then I'm done. I again really like the look of the footage I'm able to capture with this camera. Just like photo, you have those signature Canon colors coming through. Since it was bright out, I was able to use the base ISO of 800 for C3. I also tested out stabilization. Standard mechanical looks pretty good. It's stable, but still has natural movement to the footage, which I like. Digital IS on crops in and smooths the footage even more, but you can start to see a bit of warping with larger jolts. Lastly, I'm not a fan of digital IS enhanced, which is the strongest setting and crops in the most. It creates a noticeable motion blur digital look, which disrupts image quality too much in my opinion. If you need that level of stabilization, I would say a gimbal is a better option to retain higher image quality. For my testing, the sensor readout speed is in the 14 millisecond range throughout the majority of recording formats. For example, in 4K 25 and 50p, it was about 14.3 milliseconds. In 16.9 7K RAW, it was still 14.3 milliseconds, and in 7K RAW OpenGate, it's a bit slower at 18.1 milliseconds. These are not the top of the line readout speeds if you're capturing very fast movement, but for most situations, rolling shutter shouldn't be a concern. The electronic shutter in stills mode, either RAW or JPEG, has a readout speed of around 13.5 milliseconds. Now, let's talk overheating. I'm going to be testing all cameras I review in very challenging hot conditions from now on. This test was done above 32 Celsius, 90 Fahrenheit. In 4K 25p, I was able to record 25 minutes before it shut down from overheating. In 4K 50p, I was able to record up to 22 minutes. In 7K 25p OpenGate RAW, I was able to record 34 minutes, which is actually quite good. When you reach overheat, you can turn the camera on a few seconds later and record for another minute or so before it turns off again. I also have overheating comparisons to other camera bodies that I tested out side by side with the R6III. Both the R6III and Sony a7 IV have passive cooling. In 4K 25p, the a7 IV was able to record up to 15 minutes before overheating, so the R6III got a total of 25 minutes. I also tested the Lumix S1 II with the new firmware. This camera has active cooling, and I stopped the recording after an hour as it didn't look like it was going to stop at any point. I didn't even get a heat warning on it, both in 25 and 50p. The Sony a7S III was able to record up to 55 minutes in 4K 50p, so the R6III is quite a lot shorter than both of these video-orientated cameras. Let me know in the comments if you find these kinds of tests helpful. Also, side note, but Canon's overheating warning is my favorite. It's great to see a progress bar to give you an idea of how it's going, compared to a brief pop-up with no time estimate before the camera shuts down. I can see this being a fantastic camera option for portrait, event, and wedding photographers and videographers with more of a focus on cinematic video rather than extended recordings. There's a really great balance between both photo and video in the R6III, making this such a strong hybrid shooting option. I'm overall extremely impressed with this camera, and I think it's great value for money for a consumer or prosumer or professional. I'm really looking forward to testing out more Canon gear soon. I did borrow the new 45mm f1.2, so I'll be uploading that video next. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. Last but not least, here is my low light test at every single ISO. These are the JPEGs straight out of the camera, and I ran the test twice. Once with noise reduction off for those who shoot RAW, and one with noise reduction set to normal, which is how it's set up straight out of the box. I would say up until ISO 5000 looks good. After that, up to 10,000 is still okay if you don't mind a bit of grain, and upwards from there, you start to lose a fair amount of detail and sharpness. That is all I have for today's review on the R6III. Let me know what you think in the comments and which one, as always, were your favorite photos. But thank you so much for watching. I make new videos every single week, so I'll see you all next time. Bye.